Watching the Highlight Zone with WANE 15 Sports Director Glenn Marini. Local sports coverage you can count on.
I think we're just starting to rise up. We come to fight every week.
We just got to keep an undefeated SAC record and show our dominance.
They've been good for the past 5 years, so we just got to come out there and give us the best.
It feels really good to have that bell back and have the title.
Everybody wants to be on a positive, note going into the playoffs.
Winning is hard. Winning is very hard, and it's very hard in this conference. It's going to be a great game.
As the saying goes, time flies when you're having fun, and hey, it must be true because the regular season is all but done. We're talking week 9 on the Highlight Zone with teams looking to finish out strong before sectionals, and that the case at Chambers Field. And for that, we go to Josh Ayen with your Highlight Zone game of the week. Josh.
All right, Glenn. Well, Carroll has already locked up the SAC's victory bell as of last week. Now, this week, the Chargers are simply playing for perfection. A win against Northside, and they would finish undefeated in conference play. Now, the Legends, meanwhile, they have been on fire lately, winning 4 of their last 5 games. So, without further ado, Carroll at Northside, it is your Highlight Zone game of the week. Now, we've got a lot of talent, D1 talent, hitting the turf at Chambers Field. Carroll led by Iowa recruit Jimmy Sullivan as he plunges into the end zone right here to help Carroll take a 7-0 lead. Now, this Northside team has got plenty of D1 talent themselves. You've got James Early Jr., the Cincinnati commit. And you might want to keep an eye on this guy. Probably going to get some D1 offers. Malik Moore, the super sophomore with a grown man catch to eventually set up Tristan Newsom for a touchdown. That ties the game at 7 apiece. Now, late second quarter, it is Sullivan hooking up with Mason Boffman for the 28-yard touchdown, and that puts Carroll in front 14-7 heading into halftime. Now, coming out of the break, it was really Dejon Green's half, and man, what a game for the senior Green. A $133 on the ground, 2 rushing touchdowns, and an interception. Simply an Ironman, folks. Carroll, meanwhile, up 28-7 heading into the 4th. But Northside, not quitting yet. That is Caleb Kingley with a 27-yard touchdown. That makes it a 28-14 game. But this Carroll team, a little short-handed with some injuries offensively. Yeah, they still take care of the job as Will Jeffries plunges into the end zone, and Carroll completes the SAC slate undefeated with a 38-22 win.
Starting off 0-2 and then, not getting down, not falling apart, actually having it bring us close together says a lot about this team, about this coaching staff, and about the players that we have on this team to really come together and work hard.
We just have major depth. That's all. I mean, that's all there is as a team. If someone goes down, next man up. That's all coaches say. Next man up, and that's what we do every single time.
Our kids show you resiliency, and they persevere and they end up winning, and we're blessed. We're blessed to be undefeated in the conference and to bring the bell back home.
Both Carroll and Northside have got a bye week. Chargers open 6A sectionals November 1st against Northrop. Northside opening 5A play that same night against #1 ranked Concord. Glenn, take it away.
All right, Bishop Luers made a run to the 2A state title last year. The Knights looking for a serious tune-up with Homestead at Luers Field in week 9. Second quarter, the Luers offense has been much maligned, but not in this one. How about that is Devin Patterson with the touchdown, and we are tied 7-all at the half. And yeah, all the Luers fans excited about that. Later in the third, it's Patterson. He saw the wheels. How about the arm? He finds his tight end, Charlie McBride. That's a 23-yard touchdown, and Luers stakes itself to a 14-7 lead, but no give up in Homestead. This is 4th and 1 from the 12. They give it to the future Purdue linebacker, Sam Stewart, in for the touchdown, and Homestead comes back to win this one 25-14 at Luers Field. Snider looking to roll into the playoffs on a 4-game winning streak. Sherwood Haydock and the Wayne Generals trying to make sure that didn't happen. First quarter, first possession of the game. Snider marching the ball down the field. That's Aaron Vance to Trevor Jarvis. It's a 12-yard touchdown, and the Panthers up 7-0. Later in the first, Vance finding his 6'5" tight end, Owen Dotson. He is a weapon. 15-yard pickup right there for a first down. Then, second quarter, same drive. It's Jordan Davis with the short touchdown to make it 14-zip Snider. Panthers win this one at Wayne, 21-8. Southside riding high after last week's win over Luers. The Archers at Northrop. We pick it up in the third quarter. Zane Hart taking over at the QB position recently. hooks up with Jamari Brown for the touchdown, and the Bruins led 14-6. In the fourth, Robert Murphy to JT Timberlake Johnson, and Timberlake is bringing touchdowns back. That's a 14-13 ball game after that score. The Bruins throwing deep to freshman Maddox Weil, and Weil using his wiles. That is a first down for the Bruins. Next play, legend Relu punches it in, and Northrop wins a tight one, 20-19 over the Archers. The last stop in the SAC, Concordia at Dwenger. The Saints looking to iron out some wrinkles before their playoff opener against Columbia City. That will be your game of the week. First quarter, A.J. Shefferly with a touchdown for Bishop Dwenger as they led 14-0 at that point. How about some defense? Houston Ellinger with the pick, and Houston, we have a problem. He returns it all the way to the house for a pick six, and the Saints up 20-0 on the Cadets. Later, Nick O'Keefe looking deep and finding Beckham Russell. Russell, we know he gets all his athleticism from his mom. That's a great catch right there from Russell. And then on the next play, Russell knifes through the defense for a score as Dwenger wins 40-7 over the Cadets. Hey, Blackhawk Christian is going to play its first ever playoff game next week when they travel to North Miami. They were taking on Fremont in this one, and this was the Carmine Moreno show. Off the pitch in the first quarter, and Moreno wants more. They can't take him down. That's a touchdown for Fremont. The Eagles up 7-0. Second quarter, why not give it to Carmine Moreno again? He's had some huge games for Trevor Thomas and company so far this season. Another one tonight as Fremont would score on this touchdown from Moreno, 56-0. The Eagles take care of business. Let's go to the NE8. East Noble clinched at least a share of the conference title last week. A win over Bellmont, and they would win it outright. Second quarter, they were already well on their way to doing that. Dallas Plattner with a touchdown right there, and that makes it 62-0 East Noble at the half. In the third, Ian Ramey and the sophomore would get loose down the sideline, 2-6, going to take it to the house, 4-6 as East Noble simply rolling in Decatur. But in the fourth quarter, we would see some Bellmont offense. Daniel Selking to Cole Barger, and Barger cuts his way upfield for a touchdown. However, this one all East Noble. They tie a school record with 75 points and win the NE8 title outright with a 75-7 victory.
It feels great. Improving every week and just getting better at the little things, and just let's keep it going.
Great all-around team, great wide receivers. O-line's amazing this season. Great blocking for Dylan Crown and everybody else. And yeah.
You know, overall, just the approach of trying to get better every single day, and I feel like we're a team that's gotten better each week, and we're playing really good football right now.
That they are. Columbia City's only loss this season was to those East Noble Knights. The Eagles at the courtyard for a date with Norwell. Norwell's Caden Castle here can't hang on to it. It's recovered by Columbia City's Gavin Smith, and Smith takes it back for 6. This guy's got a nose for the football on defense. 14-0 Columbia City. Later, though, Castle with some revenge, finding Grady Smith for the Knights, and he makes his way into the end zone. That's a touchdown to cut the deficit to 14-7 as Norwell gets on the board. But Grayson Bradbury handed it to Corbin McIntosh. He's in for the score, and Columbia City rolls in this one 49-7 at the courtyard. At Leo, the Lions look to build some momentum for another long playoff run. They hope. Leo hosting DeKalb, and Landon Hepner, oh, he had himself a game. This is Grayson Esquera finding Hepner for a 68-yard touchdown. Hepner's line on the night, 5 receptions for $179, 3 touchdowns receiving and 1 rushing. You'll see that in just a second. But for some rushing for the Purple Pride, you'll see Rashad Martin there gaining on the ground. That's a 17-yard pickup for a first down. And then the aforementioned Mr. Hepner with the direct snap for a score. He had 4 total touchdowns in this one as Leo rolls 48-7 over the visiting Barons. Last stop in the NE8 after winning 1 game last season. Huntington North looking for its 6th win this year. It's been a great story. First quarter action, Tatum Brooks from Tony Decker. It's been a great combo all season long. You can't stop the Eschbach offense. 7-0 Vikings in the lead. Then Decker using the wheels. He's in the end zone, and it's 14-0 in the first quarter. And you know what? The Huntington North offense can score, and this would kind of summarize the night for the defense. Wyatt Shearer coming up with the sack right there as Huntington North wins this one 51-8. The Vikings also have a favorable draw for the postseason. Well, hey, that does it for the SAC and the NE8, but coming up, we're going to talk some ACAC, which means the conference champion Adams Central closing out the regular season against a Woodlan team looking for its 5th straight win. Plus, we'll talk NECC as Garrett, the only undefeated team left in our 4 main conferences here. Could the Railroaders close out the regular season with a perfect 9-0 record? That's the question as we head to Garrett, Bluffton, Busco, and a whole bunch more next on The Zone.
We're the Woodland Warriors, and we'll be back with the Highlight Zone!
We are back, and in the NECC, the Railroaders have been on track all season long. Last Friday, Garrett clinching the big division title outright. This Friday, Railroaders and Chris Depew looking to finish the regular season as the only undefeated team here in the 260. Garrett hosting Central Noble at Memorial Field as the Railroaders looking to finish strong. They got Lakeland in week 1 of the playoffs, and well, this is a pretty strong first start. First quarter, Calder hefty to his favorite receiver, Parker Skelly. That's 37 yards on the pitch and catch, and the Railroaders up 7-zip. They were not done. You know they can run the football. It's Cam Rubel, and Rubel can rumble. It's a 3-yard touchdown, and Garrett now up 14-zip. Second quarter action, real early second quarter, Alex Guzman would punch this one in from 10 yards out as Garrett finishes 9-0 in the regular season. 62-14, your final. Roll Big Train. Churubusco Eagles, your NECC Small Division champs. Busco hosting an improved Fairfield Falcons team. It was 18-12 Fairfield at the half, third quarter, and this is Brecken Marin with the short touchdown run. He's tough to stop. 2-point conversion good as Fairfield now up 26-12. Later in the fourth, Fairfield adding to that lead. It's Blake Metzger, number 21 in your heart. Well, on your program, number 1 in your heart. That's what I meant to say. 35-yard touchdown. You know what I'm saying. 2-point conversion good. 34-12. Fairfield in the lead. Angelo Iannicelli with the touchdown for Churubusco, but it would not be enough. 42-18. Fairfield on top of Busco. In the ACAC, Adams Central locking up the conference crown last week. The Jets facing a red-hot Woodland squad gunning for its 5th win in a row. But Joey Everett in the first quarter for AC cutting up field. He would almost get to the end zone. 39 yards on that rush deep into Woodland territory. Matt Heiser would do the rest on this drive for the Adams Central Jets. They can just ground and pound away. 7-0, AC in the lead. Then you're going to see more from that AC run game. It's Aaron Hershey with the touchdown as Adams Central cools off a hot Woodland team 42-6 at Etzler Field. Bluffton's going to host Adams Central next week in the first round of sectionals. The Tigers actually with a non-conference tune-up. They hosted Franklin County. Second quarter, there's no score when Cooper Craig, the sophomore, comes up with the interception. So ball back to Bluffton. And have you ever heard of Cooper Craig? We may have just mentioned him a second ago. He can do something on offense as well. That is run the football. A 1-yard touchdown there. 2-point conversion good. The Tigers up 8-zip. But Mason Wewe comes up with the touchdown here for Franklin County, and Franklin County does take down Bluffton in this one, 29-22 at Fred Park Field. With a win over Jay County, Heritage would finish 8-1 in the regular season for the second year in a row. They're building something out in Monroeville as they took on Jay County, but Jay County working it first. This is Sean Bailey with a first down in the first quarter. Later on the drive, it's Bailey looking for Ryson Blowers. This is a touchdown, and Jay County on the road takes a 7-zip lead against the solid Heritage squad. You're going to see Lucas Weber with the big pickup here. He's had a great second half of the season, and Heritage would go on to win this one 35-13 over visiting Jay County. Seattle Pinedo, Raiders still looking for that first win of the Blake Blaker era. Would it come against South Adams? Well, South Adams would score early, and they would score often. After a kickoff return to the 5-yard line on the opening kick, Wes Somerset on the very next play. It's a 5-yard touchdown, 7-zip, South Adams in the lead. They were not done. They go to the air. Caden Neuenschwander From Titus Lehman, that's a pretty pitch and catch. 20-yard touchdown, 14-0. And then Dylan Ramirez. He's had a nice season so far for South Adams, makes it 28-0 as South Adams rolls 58-0 at Carnes Field. In the NLC, Warsaw looking for its third win in a row. The Tigers on the road at the Northridge Raiders, and Warsaw doing what they do, except changing it up a little bit. Mark Curtis loves to run the football. A little rollout there from Quentin Brock to Ethan Egolf. 25-yard touchdown, and it's 7-0 Warsaw. But Northridge's defense coming up big here on the next drive. Hayden Gorball with the interception. He would take it back 60 yards to the house for a pick six. However, this one pretty much all Tigers as Warsaw takes it 42-13 at Northridge. In the Three Rivers Conference, Wabash taking on Whitko. Ryan Carmichael, year 3, leading the Apaches. Could they get a win over the visiting Wildcats? Fourth quarter, Trevor Friel, watch him just power his way into the end zone. That's a touchdown for Whitko, but the Wildcats down 22-12 in the fourth. Later, the Apaches have the football, and it's Hayden McWirt. Look at the strength as he bowls over the defender as Wabash wins against Whitko 30-12. Your final at Alumni Field. Final stop, Sherman Wagner Field, as Southwood looking to end the regular season with its first win of the year. The Knights hosting Lewis Cass. This would help second quarter. Southwood's Griffin Chambers to Cone Holloway. That's a touchdown. He is in the end zone. It was a 14-6 ball game, though. At that point, Southwood trailing. Ensuing kick, Gavin Smith for Cass. And oh boy, the momentum, the wind right out of the sails. He takes this one back to the house. That's a touchdown on the kickoff return for Cass as Southwood falls 41-22. We got Comets hockey and your gem of the night next on the Highlight Zone.
We are the Southwood Knights, and you're watching the Highlight Zone. Don't go anywhere. Let's go Knights!
The Highlight Zone, brought to you exclusively by Peter Franklin Jewelers. Get in the zone.
We're Bishop Luers, home of the Knights. Welcome back to the Highlight Zone. This is your gem of the night.
Hey, last Friday night, the Clash of Calhoun came down to the wire. Southside blocking a PAT late in the fourth quarter, and that earning the Archers a 1-point win over Luers and the Highlight Zone's highest honor. As for Week 9, here was your latest gem of the night, as always brought to you by Peter Franklin Jewelers, and this is just a beautiful pitch and catch. Our photographer Dustin Herendeen doing a pretty good job following the ball. We're talking Grayson Esquera to Landon Hepner, and this kind of a culmination of Hepner's night. That's a 68-yard touchdown reception there. He had 3 touchdown catches. You saw the Wildcat touchdown as well. 4 TDs for the future Army West Point Black Knights, sir. Yes, sir. That is your Peter Franklin Jewelers gem of the night. Good job, Leo. They're going to be tough out in the postseason. Hey, next week's sectional play. Remember, no 6A, no 5A, but in 4A, your game of the week, Columbia City at Bishop Dwenger. That should be interesting at Shields Field. In 3A, Bishop Luers, after a 2A state title last year, up a class. They will take on Norwell. Lakeland at Garrett, that's a rematch from an earlier game of the week this season. Adams Central at Bluffton, a rematch of a game of the week not too long ago. And then Union City at South Adams. We'll see if the Starfires can get hot in the postseason next week right here on the Highlight Zone. And finally, we are talking some hockey. The Comets with their season opener at the Iowa Heartlanders. First period, the Comets' first goal of the season. If you had Alex Eliardi on your bingo card, you are a winner. It's 1-0 after Eliardi's goal. Now, the Comets trailed by 3 goals in this one, but they would come all the way back. Third period tied 4-4. Kyle Mayhew with his second goal of the game. The Comets take the lead there, and they would go on to win by a final of 6-5. Anthony Petrozelli added a goal, Austin Swankler a goal, Yannick Turcotte a goal, again 2 from Kyle Mayhill, and you saw Alex Eliardi with a goal as the Comets win 6-5. They will face Iowa tomorrow in Iowa, then back home next Friday night for the home opener, 7:30 against the Cincinnati Cyclones at the Coliseum next Friday night. Well, that'll do it for the regular season here on the Highlight Zone. Tune in to us next Friday where we've got sectional play again, 6A and 5A with the bye. But 4 is where we're going to start things with your Highlight Zone Game of the Week as Columbia City travels to Bishop Dwenger in your Week 10 Game of the Week here on The Zone. For Josh, I'm Glenn, and we'll see you next Friday night.